So, welcome, fuckers, to another episode of the Trailer Park Fan Federation podcast, Trailer Park Boys Fan Federation podcast. I'm Morgan Rector.
Hey, fuckers, it's me, Raymond Hazen, a.k.a. Scoop Dad Leahy, a.k.a. Yeah, it was me, a.k.a. the one they warned you about.
That's right. I just came up for a nickname for my penis. It's the Terminator.
Nice.
Years,
Yeah.
Came up with it. See, Andrew Dice Clay used to have the best one. He called it Stanley because he said it was a power tool. You know what I'm saying? Did you have the nickname for yours?
Yeah, DeWalt.
Oh, okay.
No. I never really named mine. I just let the girl name it. Like every girl wants to call it something different. So like, I don't really care. You know, I'm not talking to it that often. I'll sit around going, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" You know. So I just let them call it whatever they want. As long as they don't call it little guy, I guess I'm okay.
They usually come up with like cutesy names for it, right?
You know what? I can't even really remember anymore. No. Well, yeah. Usually girls got funny names, you know, for things. You know, they don't got, you know, like the Hammer. You know, there's been that one. You know, or Little Doobie. You know, because my nickname growing up, you know, was Scooby, so they say, "Let me see the Little Doobie." You know. One girl called it
Remember when
Scrappy.
Randy and Leahy called was it Randy's penis Little Brad, as in Little Brad Pitt?
Yeah, Little Brad Pitt. Yeah. Oh, that's good. See, that's one of those things that didn't even make my list tonight, but totally could have, you know? Like, that's funny stuff
Yeah,
right there.
because we are
That's,
doing a Randy. We
yeah,
are
you know.
focusing on Randy. We both made a list of our top 5 Randy moments. I'll start off with mine. The first one is Markerhead. So I think it was Countdown to Liquor Day. So Randy accidentally shaved some of Bubbles' hair off, and out of revenge, Ricky shaved Randy's head completely, and he ended up drawing hair on with a permanent marker, and it actually looked worse than just having a bald head.
Yeah, and then he poured the milk all over Leahy afterwards, and
Yeah,
Julian showed up. Oh, it was so funny.
also,
I debated that one, because that's a hilarious moment, but I wasn't quite sure if that's more of a Randy moment or a Ricky moment, you know. But
that one is
I guess it does go together, you know. It can't have that scene without both of them, so I guess it could be either or, you know. It's a perfect. That shit was funny though. Let's see here. My fifth one was what is it? I believe it's season 9. It's the one where Leslie Dancer is in charge of the park, and it's like towards the end of it when he's like lost his shit. Remember, he's got like no liquor, like he's running like a freaking military base, and there's the big like standoff at the end, and like he's sitting there pointing guns, and he's talking, "Yeah, I'm Colonel Dancer," and the cops are like, "Is that Private Dancer?" And then Randy's behind him, and he's in his underwear. And then when Leslie Dancer turns and not looking, and Randy runs from him behind and like slams him against the hood of the cop car, and then like crams his thumb deep inside his ass, right up in Leslie's ass. Say you're a private dancer. Say you're, you know. And Bubbles is like, oh, he's checking his oil, you know, like.
oh yeah.
Oh, that shit. Oh, that shit was so funny, bro.
Number 4, cross country skiing says it all. When Ted and the other cop build him into like sitting between them in the cop car, giving them hand jobs at the same time. They go, "We'd like to
Cross
go
country
cross
skiing.
country."
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the same? That's when he's living in that little like that nice shed thing, the thing that he bought from that
Yeah, it was
that. Go ahead. What
Bubbles
was it? Was the company?
and then he bought.
Yeah, and he's out there making the
Well,
popsicle stick stuff.
oh yeah, if you're wondering about Eons,
Eons, that's what
there's a
it is.
chain there's a chain of stores in Canada called Leon Ascent event where you can get a bunch of shit, but then at a certain date you have to pay it all off. So it's like you're just putting yourself. It's like layaway basically. Only you get the shit right away. So yeah, Bubbles got himself into that kind of problem, and then when he lost, he bought it. Yeah, there's any businesses in America that do that, but
yeah, there's stuff like Rent a Center and I mean, I don't know if Best Buy really does it. I think they might. Right, you can like get things for. I know like Walmart's and Kmart's they had like layaway things, but you didn't get it until you paid it off. I don't know. I think like Verizon does it like that way. You basically get your phone for nothing. Oh yeah, I get this new iPhone for nothing, but it's like $1,400 and you don't realize that. Then they hit you with like 9,000 charges, and pretty soon you're like, in debt with Verizon.
can you not pay it off with like a device?
I don't know. I guess I can. I don't know. I had Verizon once a long time ago. I dated this girl and she had some really good phone plan on Verizon, so she just added me to it. But normally I just run with like it used to be Metro down where I was at, but now it's Straight Talk where I'm at. Well, I mean they're both still here, but I just got the other one now, and they're kind of like pay as you go services. You get monthly service. I get unlimited, monthly, and yeah, pretty cool. I pay what is it, like $40 a month and unlimited text calls and internet. So it works for me. Okay, let's hear my fourth Randy moment. Was when him and I think it's when him and Barb and Jim were trying to be a couple together, but it's when he was cooking dinner, and he's in there cooking and he's like burning himself and he's fucking up and he can't decide. He's like he's like buffalo swollen horse cocks or something. He just starts screaming all about the cocks, and Barb's like, Randy, enough with the cocks.
Moose balls.
Yeah, moose balls and all that shit.
For some reason, yeah, he's reluctant to swear. He says frig instead of fuck, but if he's really angry, he'll start swearing. But yeah, most of the time he tries not to swear.
Yeah, but it's always about the only like is cock and balls. Besides that, he says frig.
My number 3 is it's the episode where he's the associate trailer park supervisor, and that part where he comes to get rid of Ray and he's just wearing his underwear because he anticipates there's going to be a fight. The reason that I chose that, it's not that that's a particularly hilarious moment, but I always think to myself, what if I had a guest over and they were watching that and that was the very first Trailer Park Boys moment saw? They're like, what the fuck is this show? This guy's in his underwear evicting these guys from a trailer park. So I think that really encapsulates just how fucked up the show is. That's how hilarious it is. So.
Hey, is that the same one in time where like he goes to and he's evicting Jamie too? J-Rock. Sorry, Jamie. Sorry, J-Rock. That means drop your government name.
That was in the same season. I don't know if it was that. It might have been. But I know that was the episode where Ray went to live in the dump. I know that. So maybe it was the same episode. Yeah.
Because I almost had that one down because that shit was so funny, when J-Rock's sitting there talking, he pushes him back like, don't act like you ain't pregnant with like a bucket of chicken when he's got out of it in between the two pregnant baby mamas. And I don't know, that shit was so funny. All right, my number 3 was jump the cheeseburger. When Randy had to jump the cheeseburger and he couldn't do it because he had to get high, and he gets in that little fight with Phil because Phil don't want him to do it, and he's like, it's almost like they grab each other's shoulders and kind of like push each other around because Randy didn't want to really fight Phil because he's old and fat, like he didn't want to hurt the guy in real life, and then pretty soon he makes Thomas go get some weed from the guys, and then gives Randy some bong loads, and then when Randy crashes, dude Phil's like, "See, this is what drugs do." Freaks out and starts trying to fight flipping out, trying to fight everybody.
Yeah.
And then Randy's leaving on the stretcher, and he's smoking the bong as he's leaving on the stretcher. Dude. And if you remember, he was wearing the armor, like he patted himself up with like foam, and as he's riding off, Bubbles is all, dude, he looks like a hairy robot.
Harry
Fucking
Robot.
yeah.
You know, it's funny because I see a lot of people do these kind of Photoshop things in the Trailer Park Boys Facebook groups where they replace, some character's head with another on a movie poster or whatever. Somebody
Mhm.
should take Randy's first and put it on the head of that guy. You remember that character in Return of the Jedi where after Luke defeats that big monster underneath Jabba the Hutt's palace, there's this guy, he's a big guy and he's wearing like some kind of hat, but other way he has no shirt on and he starts crying because that monster was killed. Do you remember that?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
When I think he drops the door on its head or something, right?
the Rancor. Yeah, he killed the
Yes.
Rancor and then one of those took care of him. It was like weeping and shit.
Yes. He was like a big baby looking dude, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, all
Okay,
right, I
so
think it's your turn,
my
bud.
next, the next,
Yeah.
my number two would actually is another Randy and Ted moment when they went. I think this was in season 6. So this is when they're really starting to like hang out together. I guess they were having an affair, and they came back from like buying cheeseburgers and Bubbles and Ricky and Julie and everybody. They know what's going on. They know why they're going into Randy's trailer, and it's just this weird. It ends with Ted like giving him that pointing finger gesture, like, yeah, we're going to fuck, big deal, right?
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
yeah,
just it's real.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, go on, sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, because remember they pull up in the car and they get out and fucking like they stop and walk and like there's that awkward moment where they all stare at Ted and Randy and Randy and Ted are just staring at them and like they just all stare at each other for a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Randy's wearing a shirt even. Remember he would because he didn't want him wearing no shirt in the car.
He wore the police shirt in the car, but he took it off
Yeah, as
after
soon
he
as he
got
got
out of the
out.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I always loved
Uh,
that moment. Yeah.
that was good. That was good. Okay, my number two is from Countdown to Liquor Day also. But it's when the boys are out drinking and they decide to go down to Manhor Alley for some more drinks because the Dirty Burger set up down there. So they go down to see Phil at the Dirty Burger, and then all of a sudden, here comes Randy into Manhor Alley in that red dress, hooking, hooking for cheeseburgers, as Bubbles says. And he's out there dancing and getting drunk in that red dress down at Manhor Alley. Ah, I love it. It's so funny. You know, this is how much I love Trailer Park Boys and everything about it, even Manhor Alley, like because that being I told you that's like the first thing that really was my real introduction to it. Even though I saw like one or two episodes like way back in the day, but when I realized what I was watching and what that also it was Countdown to Liquor Day. And anyway, a buddy of mine and I used to have this spot down by the creek where we used to go drinking and smoking and whatnot back in the day down in Napa, and we always called it Manhor Alley. So like they call each other, hey bro, I'll meet you down at Manhor Alley. All right, bro, I'll meet you there, and that'd be our spot down at the creek. We're hidden, no one's around. We just fucking go party it up. And
There,
what's that?
there were no male prostitutes there, no hustlers.
No. There wasn't. Fortunately for some, I guess. Unfortunately for others, maybe. I don't know if you're
That,
into that sort of
that
thing.
scene has that scene has one of my favorite Julian moments, and I only thought of it after we recorded the last show. But he goes, well, he's not. He sees Randy dancing, and he says something like, "Oh, he's not a bad dancer." And Bubbles is like,
Yeah,
"That's an odd thing to say."
that is a great part. Yes.
Normally, Julian's like so level-headed and normal, and it's this weird, really weird thing. So that was funny to see.
Which is great because it all feeds into the Julian loved Dirty Dancing, loved Patrick Swayze. I believe Julian was a bit of a dancer when he was a younger kid. You know.
Maybe. Actually, you know what? I'll admit this right now. I am a fan of that movie. I never tried to emulate Patrick Swayze for any reason. but I like Dirty Dancing.
I
Out of the
it's not
closet.
it's not bad.
Yeah. Okay, so my number one moment is actually you mentioned something earlier that leads into this moment. You were talking about how Barb and Leahy and Randy were living as a threesome together, and so he's freaking out because of the oven because Ricky tore the door off it, so he's like struggling with it, and at one point somehow he managed to tear his pants, and it always makes me laugh because he starts like crying or whining about my best pants. He's like punching holes. Leahy and Barb are shoving at him. That was funny because he loves those
Uh,
pants, man. Those white pants. Yeah.
oh, he does. He does. Oh, hey, real quick before I forget, before I do my number one, and since we were just talking about Julian, we totally missed it, but the other day was Julian's birthday, May 17th. Yeah, May 17th was Julian's birthday. So, happy belated birthday to Julian. 1968. So, what was that? 78, 88, 98. Yeah. Yeah. 53.
Those guys they're not aging too badly. I mean, they've all got some gray hair, but I mean, despite Bubbles' prediction that they're going to be shitty looking, I mean, I think they're pretty well preserved considering
they're
their
looking
ages.
good. Looking good.
Actually, Pat Roach probably looks the oldest, but even he's doing pretty well.
Well, yeah, he's slimmed up since they first started, I'd say.
Yeah. See, he's in a position that's in a difficult position for him to be in, because I don't think any of the fans want him to lose weight, right? We don't want a skinny Randy because that's such a vital part of that character, you know. So he's between a rock and the hard place.
I know, right? But because like it's not healthy to be, big like that, big on belly.
That's the thing,
but we do love it, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because having heavyweight in that area is actually the biggest risk factor for like heart disease and diabetes, you know. So hopefully that doesn't happen to him.
Oh God, I hope not, for sure. Any of us, I know I got a Randy belly.
Yeah, like Richard Collins.
What's that?
I was say Richard Collins, who played Phil Collins. I mean, he died of a heart attack, so obviously the gut must have had something to do with it. So.
What are you looking at my gut for?
Yeah.
I love Phil, man. Phil's
yeah.
Yeah, it was a bummer, man. Like when I got out of prison last time, Phil had died. Like I didn't even know until I got out. Like it totally sucked. And then, anyway, let's not even get into that. But anyway, all right. My number one Randy moment. Here it is, dude. Was I can't.
Okay, so where did we leave off?
All right, back from slight technical difficulties. We are back. I'm at number one. I think you read your number one, if I remember correctly.
Okay, yeah. So read your number one. Yeah.
All right, yeah. All right, so my number one. That's right. So I can't remember exactly what season it was in, but it's one of the parts where Randy's gonna leave Leahy, and he's dressed up as Smokey. He's about to split. And he's like, it's the one where he tells him a man's got to eat, and which is of course hilarious. But then he starts working for Ricky. Ricky hires him to set up the grow op in that trailer, and he's gonna pay him with 2 cheeseburgers. And fucking he does him a whole bunch of work, and then it's such a great Ricky moment too, and because Randy's like, man, I don't want to get high when I do this, and Ricky's like, dude, it's shitty work. Everyone does it. They get high before they do it. He goes, policemen, teachers, just naming off this stuff, construction workers, guys who do the roads, like, just everyone. He just names them all these names off of people. They all get stoned. Now do it. Back to cheeseburgers. Use double cheeseburgers. No, that'd be like 4 cheeseburgers, bro. I said 2. But anyway, then later on, Ricky shows back up with them burgers, remember? And he's eating one, and Randy's like, is that my burger? And he's like, no, it's mine. I'll get you yours when the job's done. And they start fighting over the burger. And then like Ricky's sitting at that bench, but he pulls it down into his lap, and Randy goes down for it like he's gonna bite it. But like then it looks like he's bobbing, and then Leahy's walking behind him another road over, and from the angle it looks like fucking Randy's giving Ricky a blowjob, dude. You remember that one?
Stop, put your hands off it. Stop pulling on it.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, that shit killed me. I was like, oh my god. And then Leahy got so upset, dude, because he thought Randy gave Ricky head.
Yeah. All right.
Now, I just want to go ahead and say, like, it's really not easy to find the top 5, top 10 moments in any. Like, there are so many other ones that I'm like, man, that could have been in there. Or there's ones that like we don't even think, like I'm not even thinking of. Like you mentioned things, I'm like, shit, I didn't even think of that. That's hilarious too. I'd be willing to bet any one of these dude. Like if we were to do one in 6 months or a year, I bet you I'd probably give you 5 different ones even. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the mood I'm in, or what I think about, or just what I remember might change at that time.
Well, I actually just thought of one now I could have used. He's talking to Lucy, and he thought like the cheeseburger, the birds were singing cheeseburger.
The chickadees.
He was talking. And that scene ends with him like a bird does that again, and he doesn't even say anything. He's just, his attention's just drawn out. The guy has like cheeseburger fever.
Speaking of cheeseburger fever, how about the one? Here's another one. When I think I don't know if they're doing one of the roads or something, but it's him, Leahy, and Phil, and they got all the equipment out. And Phil's like, "Hey, Randy, how do we get a couple cheeseburgers?" And Randy's like, "I'm off the cheeseburgers," and that just like Phil's like, "What? That's crazy talk." And like later on, they're walking, and Phil's like, "Man, how's it? You like that, man? Like I feel like a cheeseburger right now, man." And like he's just like a dope fiend for a cheeseburger. Phil was, dude. And he's like, "Man, Phil, lay off the fucking cheeseburgers."
Well, everyone in Sunny seems to have a vice, and that's theirs, right?
I guess, yeah. Cheeseburgers, yeah. Bologna logs.
Speaking of cheeseburgers, it's funny because we talked about processed cheese before, and I watched a documentary on YouTube earlier about how they make processed cheese. So it turns out they do use real cheese, but the thing is, it's like if you're going to make nachos and you grate real cheese over them, it doesn't melt that well because what you get is like the oil separates it from it and it runs off, and then you're kind of left with this dry cheese. Whereas when they make something like American cheese or Velveeta cheese slices, they put real cheese into an emulsifier so that the fats mix with like another liquid and the cheese, and that prevents it from it makes it easier to melt. And if you make grilled cheese sandwiches, you don't get any of that oil. But they say it actually is real cheese. It's just real, when you use cheese in its purest form, it just doesn't function that way.
Are you talking about like Kraft singles though, man? Because like those things, they don't melt.
Well, well, I mean, you can make grilled cheese sandwiches out of those though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they kind of do. But it's like, have you ever stuck one in the microwave?
Oh, I never made one in the microwave. No.
No, it won't melt.
Well, when I was like my 12-year-old white trash self, I remember putting like hot dogs with Velveeta cheese slices in the microwave, which is, I don't think I could do it today, but it was, I guess when you're a kid, you can eat garbage food like that,
Well, Velveeta and their cheese slices are different, and it's better. Like, I mean, yeah, that's processed. Velveeta is that processed stuff, but the Kraft singles slices are different. Those things are like plastic. But yeah, the Velveeta cheese, I know what you're talking about. We get them in the big blocks.
Yeah. Is that the same as American cheese?
I mean like the Kraft singles American cheese? See, I don't know. I want to say no because Velveeta cheese is pretty good and it'll melt and it goes great. And like you can make some pasta, like some macaroni and cheese, dude, with Velveeta cheese in it. Oh, it's so bomb.
I was just thinking, I've heard about American culture over the years. Supposedly, if you're poor in America, you can get like a block of cheese from the government. Is that how it works?
Government cheese. Yeah, kind of used to. I mean, you can get on food stamps. You can go down to like the food bank and they give you food. Oh, for sure. It's more than just that. Like you can go to the food bank every month. Like there's usually a food bank somewhere every week, and you can go to it. And as long as you live in the county, you can go to it, and you get X amount of items. And usually it's a couple bags worth of stuff or a couple boxes worth of stuff, and you can come home like last time I went there, you can get like cheese, milk. You gotta watch out with the dairy, because usually it's right at expiration or gonna be in the next couple days.
Oh yeah.
Uh, because all this stuff is donations. Big produce companies, big, Clover Store Nettas, all that stuff. They donate. That's how food banks and stuff get their stuff. It's given to them
Yeah.
by the government and donations by big companies and blah blah blah. But anyway, so yeah, you can go there, you get produce, you can get vegetables and some meats, cereals. I mean, you're not going to ever get like candy or you know, ice cream or anything like
We don't
that.
have we don't have the food stamps here. Now, food stamps, you can cash those in for non-food items, right?
No, not at all.
So
No.
it's one of the because I did my true crime podcast, Human Monsters. There was an episode about this guy who like abused all of his kids, and it said he used his food stamps to buy cocaine. Is there some way? Are there
Oh
people who
well,
just buy here? Or
I was gonna get to that. Now, see, food stamps used to come in paper form. Used to be actual food stamps. Like they weren't like stamps. They looked like a dollar, like a book, like it was a checkbook. But each one in there were different colored, red, green, blue, purple, whatever, and they were dollar amounts. And people would take those, but usually it was like two for one, basically like $20 in food stamps was really $10. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there were people out there that would do that. Like you can go buy drugs or weed, or there was a liquor store guy that would take food stamps. Like people would, but it wasn't legal. You weren't supposed to.
yeah.
It's for food and food only. Now it's only on card. Like you get what's called an EBT card, and it's just a card transaction, and they put the dollar amounts that you get monthly allotted onto that card, and then you just go and swipe it. But I imagine people still can trade that off, like, you know, hey, buddy, I need a sack. Okay, I'll go to the grocery store. What do you need? So, I mean, why not? Whatever.
So it's not like the cashier is going to stop you from buying beer with your food stamp
Oh,
or
yes,
your.
they will. Yeah, yeah. You can't buy beer with that. No, I wish. See, EBT, in my opinion, it should stand for everything, including beer and tobacco, but it doesn't.
Oh no,
It no,
cigarette.
it's no, no. It's literally food and non-alcohol food. You can get all food, and and it's not prepared. Like you can't buy, like if you go to Safeway or the deli and they got like the hot chicken that's already made, you can't buy that either. It has to be food that you take home and prepare.
Oh no,
Yeah.
rotisserie chicken. Huh?
No, no, you can't take your EBT into Domino's or Round Table or McDonald's. Nope, can't do that either. It's grocery stores, and it's for food items and stuff that you have to take home and prepare, or like chips, whatever, all that bullshit.
Speaking of food preparation, so if you made cheeseburgers, and I'm sure you must have. Now, do you get ground beef and just as it is, cook it as it is, or do you have your own way of seasoning it? What do you do?
Uh, well, I mean, I like to press the patty together nice, real, and but I do season it. What is that? Grill Mates. The Grill Mates steak seasoning is really good just to put on burgers, because it's got a good mix of everything in there. But if you're just going like around the house, like some salt and pepper, maybe a little garlic, a little thyme, I don't know. Some people like seasoning salt. I'm not a big fan of that though, personally. Um, But oh, you know what else is fun, dude? If you stuff your burger with cheese, don't just put some cheese over the top of it. Like build like a little pocket in the middle, like press down with your knuckles and like get a nice good amount of burger and form it up and fill it with cheese and then put a piece of meat over it and press it down flat and like so you make a little stuffed burger and cook that like that. And that's really good. Ever since I got the smoker, I've been smoking my burgers out on the smoker when I make them. And that's pretty damn, yeah, that's pretty damn good. Low and slow too. Like they're not done in 10 minutes like you would making a burger on the grill at fucking 400 degrees. You're low and slow, 165, 200, somewhere in that range for a couple hours and let those burgers just smoke on there. Oh, dude, so bomb.
Does that affect how juicy they are?
What's that?
Does the smoker make burgers juicier, or what does it do? Is it less juicy afterwards?
Well, no, they're definitely juicy. I mean, you can dry it out if you do it wrong, like too hot, too slow, too fast, too long, all that stuff. If you don't do it right, it can be. But no, they're really good, and it adds a different flavor because they're smoked, so you get the flavor of the smoke from the wood pellets that are in there.
Yeah, and as much as I like the thick patties, I find I have a really hard time cooking them all the way through. Do you ever pan fry burgers, or is it hard to go back?
No. You totally can, but one of the tricks is get a lid and then get yourself like a little empty old like the plastic ketchup and mustard bottles at the like you see at the deli or at the diner. Like like the red ones, but get one of those just with water in it, and when your burgers are cooking, put a lid on it and just splash just a little bit, just a few like a tablespoon or two of water in there. Put your lid on it, let that thing steam for a few minutes. Because that water will instantly start steaming. But you throw that lid on there and it stays in there and it keeps it moist, but it cooks it through because the steam will cook through. I mean, that's another way that you can melt your cheese instantly in seconds too. Put a couple like a slice or two of cheese on your burger, throw it in there, just a couple splashes of water, and then cap it with a lid and let it steam. Cheese is melted in seconds. Burger's nice and juicy. Yeah, it's great.
Last time I went to America, I was in Tennessee, and I wanted to try White Castle, and I really liked it. So I tried steaming mini burgers at home like that, and the result was that I got heartburn because it seems like somehow the grease of the fat in the burger, which combined with the water and the vapors, must have just gone straight through my arteries or something. That was a bad feeling, but I really like White Castle. Do you like those?
I've never had official White Castle because we don't have the actual restaurants on the West Coast.
Really?
Really. But I have, they sell the frozen burgers at the market, and I've had them from there, and yes, they're pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it's an interesting thing about America. I'm wondering maybe if it's different in California. But I noticed like most of their fast food joints are always located in like one district. There's like one stretch of highway or wherever where every fucking business is a fast food restaurant. They all seem to be congregated in one area. Is it like that in California?
They're everywhere in California. They're kind of like liquor stores.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I guess it's different out there. I was in the South, in the deep South. They love their fried foods down there. They love all that shit. So
everything fried. Fried okra, fried catfish, fried collard greens.
Oh yeah, everything. Have you tried making burgers in the air fryer? Does that work out?
Yeah, I made burgers in the air fryer. It totally works. Air fryer's a miraculous thing. Did you order one?
I ordered one because Walmart is on sale, and I'm still waiting for them to deliver it because they're doing it through FedEx, which is not as good as when you get. I like Amazon. I like their delivery much better. So I'm still waiting for the FedEx to. Yeah.
It was funny. Just the other day, I saw a FedEx truck, and it made me think about way back in the day. I don't know if you guys do this stuff, but back when I was young in the 90s, growing up, born in the 80s, but was like a total teenage, rebellion. I was a young trailer park boy before I even knew it, in my teens, partying and getting. But anyway, every time we saw a FedEx truck, like that was the sign that you were gonna get stoned that day. Like, oh, we're gonna get stoned today. It was a FedEx truck, bro, and they had the two kinds. They had the ones where it has a red EX or a green EX, and if it was the green EX, that meant it was gonna be like super chronic, super green bud that was gonna just fuck us up, And back in the days when you didn't have weed all the time, every day, you had to go find it. You had to scrape together money. You and three buddies would get together $20 to go out and find a gram from somebody. And like, dude, back in the day, people don't even know. Like, it's so easily and so readily accessible now. It's just to score. Like, we just go to the store, bro.
Yeah, back when it was like just illegal across the board, there was sometimes the cops would make like
so hard.
Yeah, sometimes the cops would like make some huge, gigantic bust, and then there would be a dry spell where like you just couldn't get it anywhere, and then eventually it was all replaced. But they'd shut down, like, there's always like a few grow ops that existed, and they would supply everyone, but then the cops would find out about it. But I don't have that problem now. I can just walk to the corner store where I bought.
Yeah. But, totally, yeah. Fucking, you'd be like, man, there ain't been a fucking joint in town for like 6 weeks, dude. Like, oh man, those days are horrible. Man, kids, you don't even know. This new age, man, so easy now. It's like technology. It's like I was telling my son the other day, like, dude, kids have no excuse not to get straight A's in school. You can look anything up on your phone. Back in my day when I had to search something, I had to go to a place called the library and look into find a thing called the freaking card catalog and search through the Dewey Decimal System to locate books. Those are the things with bindings and pages in them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I know most kids don't know what those are.
Well, it's an interesting thing that's happened with libraries where they're saying now they've kind of become these de facto homeless shelters. Maybe not as much with COVID, but because people would go in there if they were homeless. And I guess maybe this is less common in California because you got the warm climate. But up here, it's freezing during the winter. The library didn't turn these people away. And so a lot of homeless people would, they'd hang on the library, and that would be shelter for the day. Did you ever turn to that? Did you ever use like
Yeah, for sure. The library, like, you go down there a lot because free Wi-Fi, books, you can hang out all day, and they won't turn you away as long as you're not being a total shithead, making a big noise, big stink. Another good place that was always good to go sit around and hang out for the day was Starbucks. Starbucks won't really turn you away. You can sit out front. They got free Wi-Fi too.
As long as you're white, apparently. I know hospitals have also allowed that, though. There's one that I had been to here in Toronto where there's a lot of notices about what to do if you're homeless. So I think maybe they've tried to discourage it after a while. Did you go to hospitals, I should say?
Hospitals? No, never that. But I've been to some, like, so there's churches. Churches will usually be open and let you in if it's cold, Or, not so much around here. Like, a lot of them are kind of stuck up. If you want to, it depends on where you're at, I guess. Yeah. A lot of places, not just churches, but like a lot of places, like down in Napa, a lot of places are stuck up. But there's a handful of places. The library was until closing. Like, they're not gonna let you in there after closing. Once closing, you gotta go. So you're not gonna be in at nighttime. So if it's cold outside, sorry, you still gotta leave. So I guess that is a little different. I don't know. I just around here it doesn't get that cold. It does get to freezing. It gets below freezing around here, so it gets cold. It does. Yeah, where I'm at, like it'll get below. The coldest day of the years around here is in the low teens. It doesn't get below zero or anything, but it gets below freezing for some parts of the winter, for sure.
I know in LA, cold it gets in LA is like in January where it goes down to 15 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius, that's like autumn here, 15 degrees. It's not t-shirt and shorts weather, but you could still you could go out without a coat on, I guess. So
Yeah, well, you got to remember, not all of California is LA or San Diego.
yeah,
That's only one
I
small percentage of the state. People,
just
California gets plenty of snow. California gets plenty of rain. It gets it all.
but you got and you got a dry heat too. See our
Oh, we
heat.
definitely got that for sure.
So well, yeah, you don't have a desert climate where you are then, right? The deserts
Uh, well,
are
down south you got the Mojave Desert and stuff
further
down there,
down.
like down by Tehachapi. A big chunk of California is desert. Also, California's got all climates: mountain, desert, freaking valley. It's got literally all climates. Mediterranean. Napa Valley is a Mediterranean climate. Eucalyptus trees grow there. The only other place I know those grow is in freaking Australia. Wild eucalyptus trees grow all over the riverbeds in Napa. It's crazy, but yeah, California's got it all. It'd be such an awesome place if it wasn't for all the stupid ass people, crazy ass SJWs and liberals and stuff. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, some people are starting to move out of California, like people who don't subscribe to their beliefs. I think a lot of them
Yeah,
are
like
moving.
like Joe Rogan moved.
Yeah, he lives in Texas now, right?
Yeah, I think so. My brother moved, but for different reasons. I plan on moving eventually. I'll have my AA degree in September, and God willing.
Oh,
And
that's so. How long have you been in school for that now?
uh, what was it? September 2 years ago. So it was very end of 19. I
So
started.
Raymond could be designing the CGI effects in movies someday.
Someday video games or something. I don't know. Uh, Something I want to do just for fun on my side. Like I want to make my own little cartoon or something. But I'm thinking about getting a 3D printer
So
and
you must
then
use Flash, right?
how to use Flash.
Do you use that, or is that
No, 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 no. Programs that I've learned to use are Maya, After Effects, ZBrush, Substance Painter. Um,
so? Can you create like a scene that's like so realistic it looks like it was filmed with like in real life as opposed to
well, I'm not that good yet, but in theory, yes. Eventually, yes.
yeah that I
Like
mean
I'm learning. Like we're making Pixar, video Final Fantasy video games. Monsters Inc. Like all that stuff. That's what I'm learning how to make. Not literally just those things, but like yeah, my teacher, last guy I had, my teacher that I had, he's been doing it for a couple, a little over like 12, 13, 14 years, something like that. He's really good, and he's been teaching for a few years. They might even doing a little longer than that. But anyway, he's showing because he's got a thing on his art station. Art station's like a kind of like a social media site for 3D artists, and dude, I mean, some of the things that he has on there, it's like it is almost a realistic looking iguana monster lizard thing, but it's totally done in Photoshop with ZBrush and light effects set up to give it a real world lighting effect around it, and like, yeah, I mean, and it's crazy, like all the stuff that I've learned in the year and almost 2 years. Um, like I'm still barely scratching the surface of what these programs can do and their abilities, and
yeah.
like
But have they gotten to the point where you don't have to draw or whatever render every single frame, or like can you just say make this character walk and then have the computer program do that for you to an extent, or do you have to draw every single step along the way? Do you still have to do that?
well, no, you don't draw it. Like now you model out the characters in 3D in little 3D environments, and then you basically do like uh, but you don't really do like a stop go motion. Like let's say if I make a character and I want him to walk from point A to point B, I go over to point A and I say, okay, at 10 seconds into the scene, I want him to start walking, so I'll click on walking, and then I want him to walk across the room, and like down on the bottom is your time bar, and you click okay on frame 10 seconds in, whatever, boom. We click on we'll not say we'll say 10 frames in, we want to start walking, boom, so we click on it, and then that's when he'll start. And then you just move the character to where you want him across the room or wherever, and then you go down to the time bar and you say, let's say you want it to take 10 frames for him to walk that far. You move it forward 10 frames to 20, and you hit click again. Now he'll just go there. Now you have to make each leg move for the steps. Then you have to make the arms move, right? You know what I'm saying? So where you want him to alternate between steps, as the body, you got to watch your body, because the weight of the body shifts as you walk. When you step forward, your body weight shifts to the other side. You get what I'm saying? So you got to make your character, all that stuff move. And then at every frame that you want him to, like, so you want the right leg to step forward, so you move it forward and you hit click on just a few frames forward. And that's all it is. You just it's kind of like a stop claymation thing. But you build it all in 3D now, and then you put it together. That's just one program. There's all other things, like the ZBrush program, the one I was doing right now. That's not for animation at all. That's just for modeling. It's actually for sculpting. It's digital sculpting, and I'm basically working with clay, but inside the computer. And I got a tablet next to my computer and a Wacom tablet with a little pen. And the pen is like my paintbrush, but my paintbrush is more than just a paintbrush. It's a sculpting brush. It's everything. So I can add clay, subtract clay, pull out my damn standard, carve into things. I can add detail. So like I just got done sculpting my hand. It's not like great. My teacher's is really good, but it's not bad. And for a first hand sculpted ever, and it's relatively close to mine. I think my pinky in my sculpted hand's a little more bent, like my pinky's straight, but the way I had my hand in the picture that I took, my pinky does look slightly bent. So it's because I just have my hands kind of curved, my fingers kind of curved. So, but besides that, like, it looks pretty good. I got this scar in my pinky when I carved into it when I was slicing bread working for Quiznos umpteen years ago. And so I was able to get that scar in it and everything. Like, so look, it came out pretty decently. But yeah, there's different. After Effects is cool. Do you remember the thing that I sent you a while back of that little wizard walking and the skeleton runs out after him and he zaps him?
Did you send that to me?
Did I send you that?
You sending me something. I don't think it was that. Because there's the new podcast. I don't know if you sent me any animations. To send it again.
All right, I'll have to. Those I did. Okay, when I find them, because I could have swore I did, but I'll find them if I didn't. Those were done in a program called After Effects, which is kind of like, basically any program used for text, like when you watch the news and they show you fucking all the things that pop, come across the screen, all the words and lettering that fly across the screen as things are on the news. Those are all motion graphics. And then also things like, remember Paper Mario, that video game way back in the day?
Yeah.
That's like motion graphics too. Motion graphics is also, right here. Here it is. I totally sent it to you. Here, I'm resending it.
So these programs, do they cut down on the amount of grunt work that's involved in doing animation? Because, like, I know the old school classical way was like 1,000 drawings to create like a minute of animated film.
I mean, yes and no. Yes, because we don't have to do 1,000 drawings and take pictures of every single drawing and make a cartoon that way. No. So yes, that would be very exhausting. But it does take dozens and dozens and hundreds. Oh yeah, that's it right there. So I made that in After Effects. That's all 2D animation.
Oh, is that wizard guy's hat inspired by that little guy from He-Man? That little wizard?
Yeah, it kind of does look like that, huh?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you know the new He-Man series?
What's that?
They're making a new He-Man series. Have you seen that yet?
No. Is it an animation or live action?
Animation. Well, maybe there was going to be a live action movie or something, but they're bringing He-Man back.
Dude, that's awesome. I love He-Man, dude. When I was a little guy, man, I had the sheets, I had the blanket, I had the castle, dude. I had a tent, bro. There was a tent that I got that I went over the bed. It wasn't a tent for just on the floor. Like it literally was a tent for your bed. It was a He-Man tent. And man,
I recently
I
watched
have the
the
power.
yeah, I was watching the original opening sequence of the show recently on YouTube, and I may be 44 years old, but that is as compelling as ever. He may have had a fruity hair, pretty pink clothing. Holy shit, man! That guy had a great voice too. And it's funny because no one can recognize him when he's wearing the He-Man clothes either. Same haircut and everything, but I don't know. Just like with Superman, no one thinks, hey, he looks all like Clark Kent. Takes off the glasses, no one recognizes him. That's cartoons and comic books for you.
For sure.
Supposed to suspend this.
Oh, did you ever see the Master Universe movie?
I never did. That had Dolph Lundgren in it, right?
Yes, yes. It's actually really good. You should watch it. I just watched it like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I never saw it. Maybe I'll check. One thing I was happy to find out about is that they've got the Rambo movies on Netflix now. I never saw the first one. Have you seen that?
The very first one?
First Blood, yeah. Did you
Oh
see that
yeah, dude. With oh my God, I can't remember his name. We were just talking about him, um, like last week or the week before. But the guy who plays the chief cop guy, he's in Cocoon. He's in freaking Digstown. Is it Dennehy?
Brian Dennehy, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, he's living out. Dude, Rambo's living. Dude, all Rambo wanted was breakfast. Do you realize that? Have you seen that movie yet? Have you watched it? Okay, dude, you have to watch it,
I've
bro.
seen the first.
You seen the first one?
I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it. When I was a kid, I taped the second one from TV and watched it like a million times. I especially love the last part of it where he's just going, oh, and shooting everyone.
Oh, I love Rambo.
Point where there's no plot left, but like as a guy, I just enjoy watching.
All right, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say too much. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna tell you go watch that. We'll talk about it next week or something if you want. But I'm telling you, anyone who doesn't believe me, go back and watch the very first Rambo First Blood. All that shit started. Rambo just wanted breakfast. That's it. He was riding his bike into town, just wanted to get some breakfast. He was just passing through, and the cops started shit with him. And look what happened. If they just let Rambo get some breakfast and leave, nothing would have happened. Watch the movie, you'll see. You'll see.
Don't fuck with bacon. Don't fuck
right.
with it.
Dude wanted his grand slam. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. Is it true what they say that it's great to have a grand slam breakfast at Denny's when you're drunk?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, anything from Denny's is pretty good when you're drunk. I mean, I used to get their meat lover. They had this meat lover skillet thing I used to love, man. It was on the country potatoes, had all kinds of meat, sausage, and bacon, and ham, and all kinds of shit in there, and eggs scrambled, and oh, that was so good. Get that with some sourdough toast.
Speaking of 80s movies, speaking of 80s movies, did you ever see Labyrinth?
Oh my God! Everything I've done for you. David Bowie, my man. I've seen it all, baby.
Yeah,
Fuck yes, I love it.
The mother of what's that actress's name? The hot one, the brunette, the teenage girl in the movie. Anyway, her the woman who mother's yeah. What's that actress's name? She's in.
Hold on. She's
Yeah, that's it. Jennifer Connelly's mother in that movie.
Yes.
That's Shelly Thompson from Trailer Park Boys. Who plays Barb. She plays her mother in that movie.
Wait a minute, really?
Yeah, the blonde lady.
So
yeah,
she's what's his name's mom too then?
The baby's mom, I think so.
No, because God, why am I not thinking of his name? And the girl, Jesus, you just said her name too, and like I totally know their names, and it's pissing me off.
Jennifer.
Ozark cast. No, that's not him. Yeah, she's okay. So she's got a brother too. O'Connelly, she does. She's got a brother.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. Yeah, she's had a long career, that one. She's been in movies for a long, long time. Jennifer Connelly. It's an interesting thing about Shelley Thompson. She's originally from England. She had a long career before Trailer Park Boys. I don't know how she hooked up with them, but yeah, yeah, Shelley Thompson, who plays Barb Leahy, she had a very long career. She's originally from England, and I don't know how she hooked up with Trailer Park Boys, but yeah, she was in the industry long before she started doing the show.
So she's Jennifer Connelly's mom. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, she's not her mother in real life. I think but she played her. Didn't she play her mother in the movie in Labyrinth? Is that who she was playing?
Oh, I don't know. I never realized that.
Because I haven't seen it since the '80s when it came out. It's been so long now. But
here, hold on. I want to look up Labyrinth real quick. Let's see her cast. Let's see if I can get a cast real quick. Shelley Thompson. Yeah, it sure as hell is, buddy. Good call. Yep, Shelley Thompson is a Canadian actress best known for her character Barbara Leahy on the Canadian hit mockumentary program Trailer Park Boys. She plays the stepmom in Labyrinth. Dude, you fucking nailed it. That's impressive, my man.
Yeah, so she had a long storied career, just like John Dunsworth. They've been around for quite a long time.
Oh yeah, but John was big into the theater though, if I remember correctly up there.
Yeah, he took like a warehouse or something, a derelict warehouse, and he turned it into a theater, the Neptune Theater. Yeah, he was a big.
The Blandford Recreational Center.
Yeah, the Blandford. Dressing up with Randy as the Indiana Jones guy and Randy as a bumblebee.
Yeah. Indianapolis Jones, the bumble cocksucker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, hey, okay. So I did have one random garbage mind thought this week, and I was sitting there looking at my kitty, right? My Vince Depends, my kitty, and it dawned on me like, have you ever looked at a cat and realized that they're basically just look like little rabbit bear babies?
Kinda. Well, so
yeah, you have to be looking at one to think about it. Like, look at a kitty's back leg. It's totally a rabbit's leg, right? It's a rabbit. That's totally a rabbit's leg.
Oh yeah,
it is, right? And then if you look at them, yeah, they totally jump, you know, and they can hop around if they want. But and then they almost look like a tiny little bear. They really do, like a rabbit bear, and then it's like a baby at the same time. Like like when you're holding it, it's like a little baby in your arms. Like a rabbit bear baby.
There have been times when I was stoned and I still had a cat, and I'd look at him and think, I have this animal living in my home. I mean, it's just like this
wild animal.
Relatively, I mean, they could survive in the wild if they had to, you know.
Right. You know, but I mean, think about it. Like, okay, yes, it's domesticated, but this is just a critter that, like, why? Because instinct and friendship says it shouldn't, but like, it could turn over and just eat our face, like a dog. That's a wild animal, you know. No different than a monkey, you know, or a alligator, pet alligator. Just a wild animal.
Well, I've heard a couple stories where one of those hoarders who have like 100 cats or something, the person dies and no one knows about it for a long time, and the cats ended up eating their flesh because there was no other food around. So they can get on you.
Well, yeah, I've definitely heard about that, and I mean, shit, if I was locked in a house long enough and there was no food, I'd probably eat your ass too, you know?
Animals like that's cruel. That's abuse.
So definitely.
Deserved it, yeah.
You know,
because I
If we can't just run down to Hortons, bro, I'm gonna have to eat a thigh, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, I had an animal related issue just a few days ago. I don't know if you remember. I think you must remember seeing this on my social media, my Facebook. I thought until like last week that the jackalope was a real animal. I actually thought that was a real species, and it turns out it was completely invented. It never existed. These taxidermists took rabbits and attached like short deer antlers on them and say, "Oh yeah, it's a jackalope. Here you go." But it
Well,
never existed.
the jackalope first started on, I want to say it was America's Funniest Home Videos in the 80s. That was that little character, remember? Fast as fast can be, you'll never catch me. And he'd run around all stuff, you know? It was the jackalope. It was a rabbit with antlers. That's the first place I ever seen the jackalope. And I think these taxidermists just recreated that character. But yeah, it was totally on TV here in America back in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, the mythology of the jackalope kind of goes back to like 100 years at least. So I think maybe that's why I believed it existed all that time. But I think it was
Wow.
supposed. I was thinking it's supposed to be have the body of a hare because a lot of people don't know the differences between a rabbit and a hare. A hare has a leaner body, and I think the limbs are longer as well. And it was supposed to be like that, but with antlers. So that would have been one badass rabbit or badass hare. All the would have gotten all the rabbit pussy, that's for sure.
Do you think you could beat a jackalope in a fist fight?
Well, I don't know if they use their fists. They just ram me with the horns, I guess.
Did you hear about the study that was out? They asked men and women, animals that they thought they could beat up, and I guess most women felt comfortable they could beat up a house cat, and most men felt as comfortable with either a medium-sized dog or a goose.
Oh,
And I couldn't help but laugh my ass off because no, I'm pretty sure a goose would whoop most dudes' asses. And in case anyone hasn't really been up close and personal with the goose, they're big and they're vicious. Okay,
yeah,
and
birds defend themselves. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I remember one night down this place down by the river. It wasn't Manhole Alley. It was another place with some other buddies. We're all hammered. And there's a bunch of ducks and geese and things, and it was late. And we decided, we were going to try to catch this goose. We didn't have any plans on what we were going to do with it. We just wanted to catch it. And so the three of us, we ended up getting this thing kind of like triangular cornered in between us, like we were around it in the shape of a triangle. And the goose is kind of like, it's a little bit panicky, honk, honk, and like we're kind of coming in slow, and all six hands, all three of us, we reach in and we just grab it by the neck, dude. And this fucking goose came unglued. Like we didn't hurt, like we just grabbed it, like we are gonna pick it up, and the thing just and like it went ballistic, dude. It chased the three of us up out of there, bro. It almost kicked our asses, dude. Like
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing lost its shit.
Like that
Yeah.
story was told about falling into the den of roosters and getting pecked by, and there were chickens. That would
Yep.
happen, and you probably would be scared of chickens.
Now, now, if I was going in with the intentions of, all right, I'm gonna fist fight this goose, okay, yeah, I could probably beat it. But like, if you're trying not to hurt it, like it was very intimidating. Like we weren't ready for it. Like that goose, fucking, like it was legs, dude. It was throwing jabs and shit, dude. You don't think wings can punch? I swear to God, they can.
Yeah, be glad that geese are not like these of elephants because they'd fuck people up. Like I actually saw some footage yesterday of an ostrich attacking people. That was no joke, man. They can really they also if they attack you, you're in trouble. They
Oh
don't.
my God, ostrich will kill you, dude. Yeah, no, I saw this one just the other day where a dude tries to jump on the back of an ostrich, and the ostrich kind of like tips forward, and the dude like falls off it and hits the ground, and he goes to take off running. Well, good luck with that, bro. That ostrich could run like what, 30 miles an hour? It fucking, boo, it just takes off after that dude, and they don't show you the end of the video. I didn't see what happened with him. but that ostrich caught him pretty quick.
You had ostrich meat before, right? I think you
What's
told
that?
me. I
Oh
think
yeah. I had ostrich down at Rutherford Bar and Grill,
so that
Napa
way.
Valley. Super good meat.
Yeah. Is that gamey or is it tender or?
It was super tender. It came out in two little like steaks. It was like a red meat, and it was kind of like little steaks almost. It was weird. And I didn't even use a knife. I just with my fork. I could just, dude. It came right. Oh, so just fall apart tender. So good. I don't know how they prepared it. I don't know what they did. So don't ask me all that because I got it at a restaurant, and I didn't. I was with my girlfriend at the time. It was actually my son's mom and her parents, so I wasn't into. I just complimented the chef and we left. But yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
They had to have. I'm thinking they had to have poached it in something. I don't know. I guess they could have roasted it in the oven, maybe. I guess it's just that they were careful. Maybe it was a lid or some foil or something over it, something to keep the juices in. Because the shit was so like I'm telling you, I did not use a knife. Forked that thing. It was so good. Oh, it came right apart, fell right apart.
Ever have any problems with wild animals in your area, like bears coming around or Steve French? Does he ever pay a visit? Do you ever see a mountain or?
I mean, we got them. We don't have any bears around here, not in this area, but there are mountain lions. A lot of coyotes. You hear coyotes every night. Damn near. There's coyotes, and raccoons and skunks and stuff. There are mountain lions in the mountains, but that's like a few miles away. Is like I'm up in the mountains, but like I'm in like a flat spot, which you come up from the Napa Valley in the Bay Area up where I'm at, and it kind of flattens, and then there's some more mountains right past me. And up in those mountains, that's where like Cobb Mountain is, and Loch Lomond, and all that up there. And there's about some mountain lions up there, um, but you don't really see them down here very much. But I mean, I guess it's not impossible.
Are there any
But
reptiles around there?
lizards and shit, and snakes, tons of snakes, rattlesnakes.
You have iguanas up there, or is that more of a?
No iguanas. I think that's more of a tropical thing.
I
Like you
guess.
got pets, like you can
Yeah.
totally get pet iguanas. Uh,
Yeah, I know there are parts of Mexico where like they're just everywhere. They say it's just. Well, it's funny
oh
because
yeah,
swim. I don't know if most people are aware of that, but
oh they totally swim.
yeah, this guy was in a boat and he saw an iguana like out in the middle of the fucking ocean swimming. He was.
There's blue iguanas and green iguanas, and blue iguanas are aquatic.
Oh, okay.
They
Yeah.
actually live in water too, like they right on the shore and stuff. Um, but yeah, so there's two different kinds of iguanas, blue and green.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But the green ones can totally swim also. I mean, they are lizards can swim. That snakes can swim. Like people go, oh, is it a water snake? Technically, all snakes are water. Every snake can swim. You
Yeah, don't
drop
worry.
it, you know.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll run into this pond. He won't come after me. Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
That's the thing.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, right. That's the thing about lions and tigers. Like they're cats, but they don't mind water so much. So don't think like, oh, I'll run into this river and they will stop chasing me because.
Oh yeah, no, that tiger will come right after you in that water.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen him run right out in the water and go turn on the Animal Planet, the nature show. Go watch the tiger chase a gazelle into the water. Watch him go right after it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then they both get eaten by a hippo.
Same thing with bears. They'll chase you in the water. They'll climb. They'll chase you up a tree. They'll climb a fucking tree to get to you too. I saw a video. There's a video of that on YouTube. This fucking bear. He just. It was slow, but he was like climbing up to this guy. The guy
Oh
had
yeah,
on him
they can
and
climb.
yeah,
They
yeah,
say if you have to try to make an escape from a bear, run downhill from it
yeah. That's right. And if,
because their back legs are so much longer. Their top are short. Like you get what I'm saying? They're angled funny when they run. So like don't go uphill because they can run uphill ridiculously well. But downhill they're like at a really crazy angle. They have a hard time going down hills, I guess.
and if you're being chased by an alligator or a crocodile, zigzag, run back from side to side because the way they're built, they can't really run that way, so they'll just become discouraged, I guess. But that's what they say you gotta do. Same thing with a Komodo dragon, run side to side.
Well, I imagine it's picture the back of a big rig trying to turn around or something. You know what I'm saying? It's got a long space between the wheels, between the base, so it's hard for it to turn side to side. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, you don't have alligators in your area, right?
No, that's more like a southeastern thing, Louisiana, things like that. Down in the bayou, no, we got no gators. We got alligator lizards. Those are vicious little suckers. They'll bite your finger. It hurt. It won't do nothing but hurt. Be like, ow, fucker. It's like, don't bite me. You little shithead. Make you go inside and rinse your finger off because it might be, oh, look, you made me bleed, little shithead.
What's happening in Florida now is that see, so many people have fed alligators, and alligators have gone through people's trash. So now they associate people with food. And it's funny, I saw this video. This alligator just came up to someone's house, just sat there, didn't go anywhere for a long time, just waiting for somebody to come out with food, I guess. So it seems like they've lost their fear of humans. So
he was just like, hey, you got a few bucks for a cheeseburger? Hey, everybody passing by, hey.
Yeah, got just some chicken.
Hey, do you think he was out hooking for cheeseburgers? Was he the alligator version of Smokey?
Randy, yeah, Randy.
Right? Randigator.
On that note, I gotta go. So thank you very much for listening to the show, and thank you very much to Raymond for doing the show with me.
Well, of course, my buddy.
We've got your bellies, of course.
Well, that's the fucking way she goes.
Fuck you, we got work to do.
Yeah.